Good afternoon to whoever you are, from wherever you're watching from. My name is Josh. I'm located here in Tennessee, and it has just hit fall officially, and so it is about a crisp, about like 58 degrees. It's a little bit of rain, kind of overcast skies. I mean, in my book, a quintessential fall day. The leaves are changing. It is my favorite time of the year, personally. I feel like a lot of people feel that way, and so. Um, Before we get started, I just wanted to kind of set the tempo for this channel and how it's going to be. It's going to be just like this, very streamlined. No cuts, no graphics popping up, none of that. I just frankly don't care to do all that. I don't think you need all that for me just to share my thoughts on a fragrance. And so, one thing I want to say also is I'm always going to have something to sip on while I do these. And like I said in my short, I'm probably going to be doing some reviews over whiskeys as well, because that's another thing I collect alongside fragrances is whiskeys. And so today I'm drinking the Senator. This is a straight rye whiskey. It's a single barrel and it's barrel proof. This was picked from Bluff City Barrel. I think they're out of Memphis. But this is distilled in Indiana, which is, if anything, if you don't know anything about whiskey, if it comes from Indiana, it's probably MGP, which stands for Midwest Grain Product. Very highly regarded bourbon and rye whiskey. A lot of people, a lot of brands that you see will go there and source barrels from them and blend it and put it into their own bottles and sell it. So this is 118.7 proof. But anyway, enough on that. Cheers. So today I wanted to cover two fragrances. I'm going to be most likely do a video, usually, but since I just got these and they're from the same house, I have about the same amount of experience with them. I just figured, hell, I'm just going to do both of them. So these are from the house of Joseph Abboud. We got Mountain and we got Bespoke. Okay, so I found these at Marshall's for $15.99, something like that. Excuse me, sub $20. And when I saw these are the boxes they come in, and when you see these sitting on the shelves, one is a name that I'm not familiar with, and I'm sure a lot of us aren't familiar with. But you see the amount of effort that went into the boxes, which seems like a lot, a decent amount compared to some. I mean, heck, you go to some of these rack stores and you have the fragrances that are already out. They don't have a box. They've already been sprayed by everybody that walked in. Teach their own. But when you see these, you're expecting it to be at least, $30, $40 at men. But when you see that they are $16, $15.99, like, well, I'm going to grab that just to, see what it's about. And there's not a ton of information on these, not a ton of reviews out on YouTube right now. I think thanks because they just started popping up at rack stores. But these are both the 3.4 ounce bottles. They're both eau de parfum concentration. So once again, you're getting a 3.4 ounce bottle, eau de parfum, for $16.99. Really hard to beat that. I mean, even if it sucks, it's worth just buying just to see, honestly. You got some information on the back. Got your notes listed on the bottom there. I'll read those out here in a second. But anyway, so I'm going to start with Mountain, because this was the first one I bought from them. And it really caught my eye. I love this green color, this kind of army sage green against this black. It's beautiful. It has gold writing, and it's just a very classy, sleek bottle. So for me, seeing this being called Mountain, I'm thinking, okay, in Tennessee we have the Smoky Mountains, which are green. They're covered in trees, versus something like the Rockies, which are snow-capped. Okay, we don't have snow-capped mountains here in Tennessee. And so I'm thinking, woods, moss, green, very masculine, oak and cedar and stuff like that. And the notes listed are actually, well, you got on the top, you got peppercorn, grapefruit, and lemon. The mid, you have cedar, white jasmine, rose petals, which, jasmine is usually found in women's fragrances, but whatever. Base, you got patchouli, labdanum, sandalwood, and musk. And I'm a big patchouli guy. I love the Angel Men series. And so seeing cedar and patchouli, I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be right up my alley. Something a little challenging, a little masculine, maybe a little old school, especially getting into the fall time where you can start bringing out all your tobacco fragrances, all your oud fragrances, all your ones that just have a little more depth and complexity. Usually in the summertime, you're wearing your Versace Pour Hommes, your Nautica Voyages, your stuff that's non-offensive, musky, citrus, stuff like that, aquatic, nothing too crazy, because you don't want to, choke anybody out or yourself out wearing something like, once again, Angel Men. If you wear that in 100-degree heat, you're going to die. I'm just going to say it right now. You're going to suffocate because it's going to be so strong. It's going to be a cloud of chocolate and tar and just right around here, and you're not going to be able to breathe. So now that it's getting into the fall, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be up my alley. So I'm going to spray this just to get the top notes right off the jump. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is not that. This is not this ultra masculine, woody, cedar, patchouli thing, okay? It is, for me, Joseph Abboud's kind of answer to Paco Rabanne's Invictus, Azzaro's Most Wanted, or Wanted, whichever one it is, I don't know. The one that comes in the bottle looks like a cylinder of a revolver. You know what I'm talking about. It's that kind of bubblegummy, sweet. It's really, not as sweet as like Ultra Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier, but that Invictus sweet fruity kind of thing. A little bit of citrus on top. Yeah, I mean it's nice, and I'll say that right now. It is nice and very nice for $16. And I'm not sure why they're all of a sudden popping up in rack stores. Because on their website, these are both going for $90 a piece. Okay, and it might be a lot of the same thing with other people that is with me. Is when you see mountain, you're expecting something mountainous. You're expecting something outdoors, woody, and this just isn't it. If Invictus and Wanted, those are mass appealing fragrances owned by a lot of people. They've done their job in the market, and so if you go and see this and smell it, if you think, oh, this smells like Invictus, and you have a bottle of Invictus at your house, you're not going to buy it, because why would you need to? But all that to be said, for $16 for a 3.4 ounce eau de parfum, you can't go wrong, man. It really has this Hubba Bubba vibe to it. It has this, like, when you first get a little pack of Hubba Bubba and you take it out and you unwrap the individual gum, and it kind of has that white, like that chalkiness almost on it. You get that too, like this. It's like chalky, powdery Hubba Bubba. And it's not bad. It's just not what I was expecting it being called Mountain. So, all that to be said, I would definitely pick it up if I were at a rack store. If that's something you're looking for. If you're looking for an alternative to like a Invictus or a Wanted by Azzaro or something like that, by all means, pick it up. It's $16. I mean, can you really go wrong? Performance-wise, haven't had a ton of experience with it yet. I'd say it's probably about average. I think it rides kind of close to the skin for the most part. Either that or maybe I get nose blind to it. But I think it's more, it gets pretty skin scenty not too long into it. But on to the next. Ooh, man, that rye, man, 118. he'll get you. Next, we're gonna go over Bespoke. So of the two, I really like this one. Out of the two, I think this is the winner for me. This kind of has, think of, well, before we get into it, the notes are, in the top we got grapefruit, mandarin, rosemary, nutmeg. The mid we got rum, lavender, cedar, rose. In the base we got leather, moss, tonka, and vanilla bean. For me, man, this is, it's funny, I just had this revelation, but this is a powdery, soapy Dolce & Gabbana's the one. This has that, as Reggie from the channel Little Angry. If you haven't been in this fragrance community long, you probably don't remember him because he hasn't been doing reviews for 10 years now. But when I first started, it was guys like Robes 08, Drac Doc, Little Angry. Red Alessis was just kind of getting started. I mean, my Mickers, all the Fragrance Bros, all those guys, okay? But Little Angry used to call Dolce & Gabbana's the one. He used to say it had this fruit punch note. And it's true. It does kind of have this fruity, this fruit punch kind of ambery vibe, okay? And this has that. I mean, so, Dolce & Gabbana's the one is really close to my heart because it was one of the first fragrances I ever bought. I took it with me when I went to the Dominican Republic for a mission trip in high school. So every time I smell that, I'm back in a different country in my mind. And so smelling this, I'm being transported there right now. But if you take that DNA, that fruit punch, inoffensive tobacco, not like a Burberry London tobacco, but from Dolce & Gabbana's the one, and you wrap it in just kind of this soapy, powdery kind of vibe. I mean, that's what you're getting here. And I think it smells great. It also kind of reminds me of, take Dolce & Gabbana's the one. EDT, EDP, don't really matter. Kind of smells the same. And Gold by Jay-Z. I don't know if you remember that fragrance or not. It wasn't a bad fragrance. It wasn't anything crazy. I mean, I imagine it's discontinued now. But take those two, because that kind of had this powdery vibe, powdery vanilla kind of deal. Mix it with that fruit punch tobacco vibe of Dolce & Gabbana's the one. Mix them. That's what you're going to get from this. And that's my personal opinion. Take for what it is. So at the end of the day, I think Mountain is, like I said, it's a spring. I mean, now that it's drying down more, it's really, that Hubba Bubba thing is really coming out. Like grape Hubba Bubba. Mountain, I'd say, is, like a spring, fall. I wouldn't say winter, and I wouldn't say summer. Just kind of your in between, your transitional seasons where it's not too hot, not too cold. A nice night out fragrance, absolutely. Any time that you would wear Invictus, you could wear this, okay? And then Joseph Abboud Bespoke, I say it'd be a great work scent. Go easy on the sprays at first. I don't know how strong this thing really projects because, once again, either it rides really close to the skin as a skin scent, or I just get nose blind to it. I don't have a ton of experience with these yet because I just got them this week. So I think a nice, date night would be nice for this. Be good for a date night and just kind of, casual wear. For both of these are fine casual. But the Mountain would really work on the night out. I think Bespoke could be a little more, if you need to be in more of a formal situation. You're going out on a date or going to work. So that's Joseph Abboud. At least the two fragrances that I've found by him in the rack stores, Mountain and Bespoke. Once again, $15.99, $16.99 a piece. Like, you can't go wrong, people. So once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to get this fragrance review channel back on the tracks. And so once again, hope you have a good afternoon to whoever you are from wherever you're watching from.